All right, guys, so the cabinets are all done. Now, the countertops are showing up today. We scheduled them about a week in advance, and the forecast didn't show any snow, and we got quite a bit of snowfall right overnight. The countertop people have, dollies and all that stuff carrying these slabs, so they'll have to be riding on the ground. And it'll be interesting to see what ends up happening today. I'll definitely have to get my hands dirty and or cold trying to bring these slabs in. You didn't know there's a blizzard coming in town. I didn't even know this, dude. Everything said that it wasn't. How you doing, man? Thanks for coming out. If you guys don't remember Dmitry, he was on my personal house, the countertops. We did the waterfall. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. But you're a very popular young man on the channel. All the girls are commenting in the thing. They're like, who's that guy?
I think it was just one girl.
Is it one girl?
A bunch of them. I think I should try to back it up.
Okay. This curb is pretty high though. It's not one of those roll-off curbs.
Yeah.
This is turning into a heavy D Sparks video where it's like a recovery thing.
Yeah.
This is where it's gonna be.
Yep.
This is gonna be so sketchy. Oh, look how much snow. We are looking at, look at that. This is just in the last, 5 hours? We were looking at 4 inches. This is what 4 inches looks like, by the way. It's generous. Man, that thing just popped right over there, didn't it? He's drifting on the sidewalk. How old is this trailer? It's probably 20 years old now.
Yeah.
Because we used this when I was working with Alex.
This is homemade. He's never getting rid of
Yeah,
this.
I was there when we welded on this metal.
Yep.
Oh, I gotta trim off these shims. Of course, I'm not ready. I forgot to trim off these shims right here. All right, let's get this puppy in here. Hopefully nobody falls in. Ooh, these are new. Of course, I grabbed the heavier end. Yep.
It's the easy one.
That's the easy one. All right, well, we got a step here. Oh. Yeah, definitely don't fall in the pit of death there. There's ghosts.
I just want to wipe it down a little bit. Ooh, we got to put the sink in. We got some work ahead of us.
Look at us getting too excited. We forgot to install the sink first. This is one of those moments I hope we measured this countertops right for the cabinets. I didn't move anything, but it's one of those things that anything can go wrong, and this is definitely not something you want to screw up on. I need a quick little snack from this kitchen renovation. I'm exhausted. Guys, every once in a while, I land on a product that I'm so excited to share with you guys because I absolutely love it. And that is why I'm super proud to announce the sponsors of today's video. And we've worked with them many times before, Kamikoto Japanese Steel Knives. Now, I've said this before and people might not believe me, but they're literally the only knives that we have in our kitchen. And that's their permanent spot. They're not going anywhere. And here's why I love them so much. Kamikoto Japanese Steel Knives are working with 800 years of legacy, of knife making, of perfecting the knife. 800 years of meticulous, precise expertise of legacy. They've made a knife that is such high quality that you're never gonna throw them away. You're gonna wanna sharpen them and resharpen them for decades to come. And if you're a history buff like myself, they have handcrafted these Japanese steel knives that date back to as far as the Edo period in Japan. Now, this is absolutely wild. So each knife goes through a 19-step rigorous process where it actually takes years to do. So they're not just mass producing these things daily. And with the expertise of over 100 years, their expert bladesmiths take they shape the raw Japanese steel to a hardy steel and sharpen and polish them to an excruciating fine edge. And let me show you just how sharp they are. Check this out. This is the set that I had for about 2 years now. Never sharpened it a day in my life. This is the brand new set that we just wanted to add more to our arsenal here. I'm gonna use the ones that I haven't even sharpened yet, the old set, and then I'll show you the brand new set, just how quality they are. Yeah, I built this cutting board a while ago. You see, even 2-year-old knives that I've even sharpened in those 2 years are razor sharp. Now we gotta try the brand new stuff. Everybody loves brand new. Look at all these tiny little slices.
Whether it's my 2-year-old knife or my brand new knife, they cut the same. It's no wonder the Kamikoto Japanese steel knives are used by Michelin star restaurant chefs all over the world. Each knife is hand inspected and comes with a lifetime guarantee. Oh, and by the way, this one's my favorite because it's big. And I'm a sucker for detail. So the Kamikoto Japanese steel knives comes in a heavy duty ash box. So whether you want to organize it in your home with it or gift it to somebody special in your life, they make a fantastic gift, especially with Christmas around the corner. And speaking of gifting, Kamikoto right now is running a massive holiday sale where the viewers of this channel get an additional $50 off their purchase when they use my promo code at checkout, BUILD IT. So head to kamikoto.com/build it or simply click the link in the description below. Get yourself a set or get your friends a set or do both. Make everybody happy. Thank you, Kamikoto, for supporting this channel. Now, I gotta go back to remodeling this ugly kitchen.
Got our stainless steel sink here. Even though we're using gold hardware, I think this is gonna work just fine. Actually, I've never seen a gold sink. Have you seen a gold sink before?
No.
Yeah, might be in like Trump Towers.
I don't know for how long, but for now.
I feel like I'm watching my dad work right now, and he's making me hold a flashlight for him. We've all been yelled at for holding the flashlight wrong.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna stop you there. We use green tools in this household.
All right, go get it.
Step back and let the big dog work here. Do you need this broken off?
Yep.
Oh boy, it's glued on there, so hopefully I'm not gonna take my face frame off. Woo-hoo-hoo! So how does this work? Does this just like slide in here?
So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna screw it into here and then drop the sink on it, put some silicone around the sink and then sandwich them together.
This is nice hardware. We used to do like just 2x4s.
Yep. No, go in, go in.
Go in?
You don't need the handles.
Okay.
It's not heavy at all.
Easy for you to say. You do this every day.
If you want, you can come over here.
No, I'm fine.
You good?
I gotta
Prove myself.
Oh shit. I'm surprised nothing just collapsed down. First part's done. Now the big boy.
Yes, sir.
What do you think this is? 600 pounds? Less?
Granted, maybe probably 300-400.
No way. This is 300-400 pounds. It didn't feel like on the last one.
Maybe because it's wet.
Oh yeah, it's the water weight that's really making it weight.
2, 3.
Let me get on the set hole.
You walk around.
Yeah. Fall into the pit of doom here. Wait, how come you're not using them?
I'm gonna use them too.
All right, cool. I don't want to be the only making you wear a dunce cap. Oh, don't you unscrew that?
No.
No, 1, 2, 3. You know, I love the idea of the fulcrum. Just leverage. Science rules.
Slide it in. Yeah, I need about an inch gap so I can clean it. I'm gonna lift and you push.
All right.
All right, perfect.
Just a house cleaner at this point. You won't let me do anything cool. Hopefully I can do the seam. Screw that up. So what's the name of this particular quartz?
It's linen, the one I was talking about.
I like it because it's subtle. Irina made a mood board and this is exactly how it's all turning out. The mood is spicy. Quartz is ice cold right now and we're gonna have to put epoxy in there to create the seam. The slab originally wasn't big enough, obviously. This is a giant piece. So we have to strategize where to put the seam, which is a good spot for it, but we gotta get it nice and warm so the epoxy can grip. Never seen semen in a cup before. Actually, I have. I had a vasectomy done. Is that the official way of warming up epoxy?
Yep. The easy way.
Start a fire.
Yeah. Slowly. Right there is good.
You know, I was gonna ask you if I could do this part, but now I'm actually happy I'm not asking that anymore. I don't want to screw up on this part.
Seams are actually harder than waterfalls.
Really? Well, I did that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you watched me. I mean, you basically did it all. You know, you're pretty good with that razor blade. You ever, I don't know, break anything down in portions or anything like that? No? All right. Me neither. So check out how this seam turned out. I mean, it's as tight as you could make it, and the countertop's a little dirty, so that's why you can kind of see a little gray line, but it's a flawless seam. I'm so happy that everything turned out. If you're in the Boise area, go check out my father-in-law's granite shop. It's called Advantage Granite and Stone in Garden City. Tell them Mr. Billet sent you. They'll take care of you. But this is so cool. Kitchen's looking absolutely incredible. So much bigger than it originally was, and so much bigger than I was actually anticipating. So we need to start mudding, taping all these joints. In the previous video with the cabinet, people were asking, why did you do the cabinets before you did the drywall mud? Well, scheduling. Scheduling was the big thing. I knew it was gonna take me forever to do this, and I didn't want to put out like a video one every month and a half. So for that sake, it's gonna be a little bit awkward, but we've been here before, folks. We know what we're doing. Let's just start mudding this up. One of my guilty TikTok and Instagram pleasures to watch is drywall people, like pros at drywall, where it's like an art form where they mix up their stuff and they come in and every joint, every nail is like strategically like swooshed in, so they'll come in and they go So I'm kind of figuring something out here, a little kind of trick to make it smoother. If you put it on the corner of your taping knife, you can actually spread it faster. So, and then at the same time, use the corner of your mud bucket here, or trowel, whatever you want to call it. I forget what it's called. But so you scoop it like this, and it's just in that corner. And then you just put your pressure in that corner. Well, that's not a good example, is it? But you get to drag it out like that. And that makes it so much smoother than going, you know, a couple of inches at a time. I got my first coat on. I'm gonna let it dry, then we're gonna start floating it. So and besides, I need a corner bead up on here. So while it's drying, let's start working on our door situation. Because folks, we didn't have a door here for a very long time. I went down to Lowe's and Home Depot trying to find a door. And the doors are usually 30, they have a 30. 32, 34, 36, 38 inches wide and like 8 inches tall. Now, the rough opening is supposed to be the actual size. It's actually like an inch or two more than that. Our opening, it's like 31 inches wide, total opening. So the door has to be even smaller. In order special ordered, it's like $300. These are fire rated doors. They're supposed to have like a burn rating of like an hour. They're solid core, and I can't find one, and they're expensive. So I had the brilliant idea of heading up to my local Habitat for Humanity store where, you know, you can just donate all of your unwanted home renovation projects. And I found this beauty. Well, it looks like brand new. I don't know why it was even returned. It doesn't even have the hardware door pull knob holes even drilled out for it. Guess how much I paid for it? 20 buckaroos. Got my solid door here. So the idea here is gonna be I need to trim it down. Then we have to bore out all of our hinges, the doorknob, the lock, and all that stuff. I got a few jigs here. This one is the hinge jig from Ryobi. I've used this one time before, like I said, and it worked fantastic, but I had supervision. This time I don't have supervision. So I'm coming to the conclusion I'm one jig short, and that's the jig to bore out the holes for the hinges on the door jamb. I don't have that one. I think I can either buy one tomorrow, or I could just freehand it with a router carefully. Let me trim this door in the meantime, and then see how it looks. 77 is right here. I'm giving an 1/8 on top and 1/8 on the bottom for, you know, swinging. Okay, and the nice thing is this door has more beefiness there than here, so I'm gonna chop it up here. To make a cleaner cut, I think what I'll do is lay down some masking tape and then use my track saw. That usually works out the best. Part 1 out of 1,000,000 is done. It is a solid core. I never knew it was particle board inside, making a solid core. What I've seen people do before is cut off a chunk and then strip the veneer and then just glue the veneer up. So I think that's exactly what I'll do, is I'll just rip this on the table saw and just glue it on. Got a nice clean cut over there. Now this side where the hinge is gonna be, I'm gonna have to cut a little bit more because what I'm gonna glue back on has to be a little bit more. And the reason why is, even though it's a solid core, it's all particle board, the outsides are what looks like a 1x2 pine, maybe, I don't know. But that's the stuff that we're gonna be boring into where the hinges are gonna go into. So that's the strength of the overall thing. We're not screwing crap into our particle board here. I was just telling Kyle off camera, I feel like I'm disarming a bomb because I have no room to mess up here. I got one strip of veneer cut here. We'll glue that on, and then I have the thicker portion that's gonna have my hinges on this side here. Gonna glue this up, let it dry overnight, and then tomorrow we'll be able to start safely cutting out all of our stuff. And now we just wait patiently. So I like to, whenever I can find a cool tool that's helpful to me, I like to share with you guys. So it's the next day, the taping is done, so I'm going over and blending the joints more. So I finally picked up a skimming tool here, and I'll be completely honest with you, I really dig it. Now typically you go with like taping knife, then like a 6-inch knife, 8-inch knife, 10-inch knife, and work your way up to the blends. I try to be a little bit reckless here and see how it works. So what I'm using is a 14-inch knife here, spreading it all over the joints. By the way, I already sanded them. And then I picked up this little skimming tool from Lowe's. They have them Home Depot everywhere. And then lightly pressing it down across. And surprisingly enough, it's coming out pretty dang good. That's still wet right there, so you can see all the imperfections yet. These are one of the tools that I just picked up that I'm really glad I did. So maybe you guys could take something away from it. Folks, it's the next day. Everything is dry. Everything came out great. I gave a little primer. These are the glued on pieces. I still need to fill in a few of those little cracks, but other than that, they look really great. Gonna start working with my jigs here. Again, not the most proficient with it, but I'm sure we'll be fine. So clamp this down, set my width of my hinges. They're 3.5. So essentially just go all the way through and they should drill them out. Test fit. Pretty damn good. That is a nifty pilot hole drill. That's nice. That went smooth enough. And of course, we're bringing in the third jig, which is weird. I've never brought so many jigs on one project, but that's how hanging doors is, I guess, is the door latch jig. So let's see here. This unscrews like a clamp, and then we use our latch finder. Problem is this door is super thick. This is a 1 3/4 door versus I think usually they're like 1.5 inches. Insert for routing. It's 1 3/4. Ah, crap. I used the wrong, but this is 1 3/4, so I'm supposed to use this depth setting gauge instead of the other one. That's why I punctured too big of a hole. Dang it. But I think because just a small little section of it, the strike plate will work just fine. But that's a bummer. I should have caught that early. Okay, well, here goes. All right, well, that's good enough. Okay, that's working. Let's attach the door jamb. This is the moment I'm most nervous about because this is where the alignment's off, it all goes to crap. Can't hang a door without door jambs. Uh-oh. I don't know how I'm gonna screw these hinges onto the door jamb if the door's closed and I don't know how to open it and have it attached. You gotta believe in yourself like a lion. When there's a will, there's a way. We got this sucker up. It's looking good. Now the hard part is carrying it over there, and then hopefully we can align this son of a gun. Feeling optimistic. Vibes are high. Mwah. Oh, dead nuts. Big win for the brand. Way to go, gang. I don't know if this is the right way, but I kind of started going in sequential order. First, I get the top leveled out, and then once the top's leveled out, I go to the side, and then I go to the other side, and if all looks good, I did my job right. So this is cool. The door is hung. It's all leveled on both planes, and I didn't account for my flooring. So it's laying right on the subfloor here, and then on top of it, whenever I'm gonna put new flooring in here, I need to account for that as well. So to be safe, I gotta trim out 3/4 of an inch here. Can't believe I didn't catch that, but then again, it was dropping down a step here further, so oh well, it's not a big deal. Let's just pop this off, trim off 3/4, and we should be back in business. All right, moment of truth here. A round of applause for everybody. This is fantastic. I haven't had a door here in 8 months, and it looks like a completely different kitchen just by simply having a door here. But boy, oh boy, we should be proud of ourselves because this has been a long time coming. Wow, solid fire rated door. Good job, everybody. High five. I just modified a damn door to be a custom size, but for some reason I'm struggling with connecting this stupid screw on this hardware. Now the door being done, I'm gonna get back to start floating the rest of these joints that we taped up yesterday so that tomorrow we could start painting this sucker. We're getting to actually being done with this drywall and being able to start painting and bringing all the appliances and backsplash, but right now we got to do the skim coat on it, so make sure that there's drywall coverage all over the place and texture. All the original drywall is just a skim coat. There's no texture on it, which I'm fine with it, but it takes a very particular skill set to get it nice, because when the sun hits it, it looks like dog crap, especially with my skill set. So I got two theories I'm gonna go with. Everything's already, I have a 3/8 nap regular roller. I'm gonna see how it turns out. If it doesn't turn out, option B is I'm gonna try, I've never used this. This is a texture roller. Might look like dog crap, so we'll find out. And then plan B, if all of these look like dog crap, my plan B will be to make a Santa Fe texture, and that one's easy because you literally just take your drywall knife and make all these divots and it looks awesome. One of my houses had it. I actually prefer it than orange peel or anything else. So, you know, we got options. Let's see what we're working with. We'll do a test run here first. You know, it's not bad, especially when you roll it out. My theory is this is almost gonna look like orange peel, but you never really know with this stuff. Oh, geez. I take back the whole texture roller. It looks like popcorn sealing shit. Well, we figured that out real quick. We're not using the texture roller. So this one's going in the trash. You know, surprisingly enough, the patch job here turned out really, really well. I had a big patch here, and a patch down below. And I think I skimmed it pretty damn well. I'm not proud of some of my other moments. I'll have to do a little bit more sanding, a little bit more floating. All in all, the skim coats are playing well. I think I will stick to my plan C and making into that Santa Fe knockdown-ish kind of look. So Santa Fe texture. Santa Fe is basically like knockdown except way lighter version. So I haven't done this in years, so let me see if I can still got it. The idea is you take some on your trowel, on your knife, and you spread a bunch of little sections out. Because we're essentially creating two different layers. The base layer, which is a skim coat, the top base, which is these little specks. And then once they're on, you just slightly break them down like that. Now, real drywall guys might say that this is just basically knockdown, not Santa Fe. Because you're right, Santa Fe kind of has these little squiggly marks in there. But I had this in my last house that was done by pros, and it looked great. I like that a lot. So I'll do that here. Got all the paint dried up over the weekend. It's looking so good. The texture, the knockdown, definitely not Santa Fe. Came out incredible. This is looking fantastic. Now, I had some time, so I built the windowsill for the main window, and now all we gotta do is install. It's gonna be a tight fit, but that's what we're looking for here. Beautiful windowsill, but now that we have it, that means we can start on a backsplash. I gave Irina the mission to pick out the tile with one condition. She has to stick by the budget, which is very rare for us. I try to keep the tile under 200 bucks. So she came through on getting the right stuff. So this is by Dow Tile, got it at Home Depot. It is called Lux Craft. We're not gonna stagger them, so it's just gonna be in a grid-like pattern, which is gonna be easy for me. We'll see here if we'll need to space it out. It's gonna look weird if I have to cut a little sliver off. Plus an eighth gap. I think this might be dead perfect. Let's start laying down our tile. All that work and this thing freaking shattered on me. It's gonna be a long day. So that's gonna be the approach, is get a sponge, slow drizzle. It'll take a while, but at least we're not breaking tile and wasting valuable material. Tile is a fantastic project. If you're just getting into DIY stuff, it's an awesome way to like spruce up any living situation that you have. It's easy. It's kind of like craft almost in a certain way. As long as you don't have to make any kind of crazy cuts, definitely recommend trying it if you haven't yet. Welcome back, folks, to the next day. All the tile is up. This might be my best to date tile job. This is the most straightest job I've ever done. I didn't use any kind of lifting, leveling kits just because the drywall was brand new and it was all nice and flush, which is the key to getting a nice job. But being the next day, everything is dry. We got our grout. The missus says we got to use a white grout with this. Let's get after it. So I gave it the allotted time to dry. My only concern is the bag of grout that I've had from a previous project, the top section of it had a bunch of crumbles in it that I was hoping was gonna dissolve, but as I was applying this side, it did not. So my money's on the fact that this section is gonna have some of the grout peel off, which no big deal. I'll mix a new batch because this section, I went to the bottom of the bag and it was flawless. So this installed perfectly or laid down perfectly. But there's a good chance this is gonna be crap. So we need to install our range hood here. Oh no. Oh shit. I think that could be concealed with the cover, but make sure it doesn't happen again. Let me try doing a small thin bit here and then widen it up. Hopefully that won't put too much pressure on it. Ah, dang. What was going on? I mean, it looks like it had good pressure. Oh, I wonder if it was been cold in here. I wonder if the mastic, the tile adhesive didn't dry all the way through. It didn't cure. I don't have heat in here, so I'm using my propane heater. It probably needs more time to cure. Well, folks, I learned a valuable lesson here. Number one, I didn't consider, and I never even thought about the fact that how much longer tile adhesive or mortar needs to dry when it's a cold environment like this winter season. So I've never known that. It's a hard lesson to learn, and I'm gonna put that in my pocket for many projects later. That hood was a tough pill to swallow, but I'm trying to do my best to move on here, stay positive, and nothing will make you more positive than a really cool brass faucet here. Nice. Oh, it's backwards. I gotta get an extension water line, which I don't know why they make these so short. Even if it was directly underneath it, it would still be short. The only time it wouldn't be short if it was right in the wall, which is dumb. So I gotta get an extension for the water lines. But let's start bringing in our dishwasher and see if we can connect our water lines to that. Let's see where the drain hose is. There it is. This is a Home Depot purchase as well. Probably the cheapest stainless steel. It's a GE. Why is there water in here? Did they do like a test cycle or something? Better not be a return. It looks put together, but. I'm gonna do the satisfying part. That's not it, that's just yellow tape. That's the satisfying part. We got big boy appliances in here. Ordering the microwave was a real hoot because they give you the dimensions, but I don't know how perfectly accurate those dimensions are apart from you actually measuring the microwave and then building your cabinets. You know, the measurements were not bad. I gave myself a little bit of wiggle room for it to slide in and out. I think I kind of anticipated the worst case scenario having to build out trim, but this is not bad at all. I'm gonna bump it out so it matches my face frames and door faces, and then I'll put a little trim kit so this can open and close conveniently. All right, I'm really excited about this range because it's an electric range and most of the times they're ugly because the controllers are in the back. Ugh. Right here, you know, there's a little panel here. So I found this range that has controllers in the front. They're a little bit pricier, but I figured, hey, let's splurge a little. Because technically, apart from running the gas from the basement through the ceiling, down the wall, I don't anticipate any future owner going through that endeavor, but who knows, I might be crazy. I bought this place, didn't I? So I decided to get a nicer range. Let's do a dry fit here because I still gotta mount my hood and stuff. Besides, I'm way too excited for this. Oh, perfection. I mean, I still gotta raise it up a little bit and level it, so this is just above the countertops, but perfection. Folks, I got a crazy long laundry list to do here between the hood to install, all the details, outlets, light fixtures. We got light fixtures. So give me a little bit. Let me spruce this place up, have Irina style it, and I'll show this big reveal and also the most important part, the budget breakdown. All right, guys, let's talk about the budget breakdown for this entire abandoned kitchen remodel. Now, keep in mind, this budget breakdown is for over the course of the 5 videos of everything that went into this kitchen. The cabinets were $3,600 for us to build. The countertops were $2,600. The backsplash was $250. The faucet was $200. All the appliances were $1,650. The sink was $250. The door and trim and all the hardware for it was $175. The lights were $150. The plumbing was pretty cheap, it was $50. For all the electrical in this entire kitchen, it was $1,000. And all the drywall was about $500, making this grand total remodel $10,325. How incredible does this look? I'm so proud of how everything turned out, and Irina did a killer job decorating and staging that. If you don't yet follow Irina, she's my wife. She's an interior designer. Check her out. I'll link her in the description below, Mint and Pine. She creates incredible content. $10,000 is what it cost me to do this entire kitchen. And yes, it's a lot of money, but if you think about it, if you hired somebody, that'd probably be $50,000. I don't know. So that's just a number for you to keep in mind in the back of your head if you're like, I'm gonna do a project to this scale. Well, now you know where you stand. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't seen all the 5 series, go check them out. They'll be linked in this video as well. In the meantime, here's a video I think that you might enjoy.